Wait.
Oh, yep, nope.
You're on.
We're on.
Woo! No, F it, I'm doing it again. Go, Ranger, wrap up. Da-na-na-na-na. Go, Ranger, wrap up. Go, Ranger, wrap up. You mighty Morphin Ranger, wrap up. Woo!
Hey guys.
Woo! God, it feels great.
Wow, it's not like we did that again.
No, it's not like we did that
completely
again.
organic.
Dude, I love it. This is great. It's a little bit different, and it should be a little bit different because right now we are having a Henshin Hangout takeover.
Woo!
That's so much so, I had to wear the shirt.
Henshin
because
takeover.
This is the Henshin takeover. So that's how we're starting off TGIS with Ranger Wrap-Up, taken over by two of the Henshin Bros. That's right. So, gentlemen, introduce yourself to the Ranger Wrap-Up.
Hello. Y'all know me and Johnny. I'm Justin Keyson.
Yep. Boom.
Johnny Parker over here.
Yep, Johnny Parker II, a.k.a. Johnny Dope Kicks, in the building.
Yep.
And since you guys did introduce yourselves, I gotta introduce myself.
Of course.
Holla at your boy! It's me, the BSG. That's right, Battlestar Galactica, aka Purveyor of Petty, aka the controversial conversationalist. That's right, and we are here to make sure we have a conversation, and it's going to be controversial. You know, Joe usually has like the pipe bomb, blah blah blah, yada yada. I like to say, since Joe has the pipe bomb, let me have a conversation and lay down the napalm. So let's have that happen. Let's have that happen today, guys. Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I can't be up there, but hey, I'm just trying to, pretty close. So, we are here to talk about Beast Morphers, episode 6. That's right. It's all about what's happening in Hangar, people. All about what's happening in Hangar. Now, Johnny, this is your first time really watching and discussing Beast Morphers.
It is.
Now, from your perspective, seeing this episode, thrown right into it, how'd you like it?
What did I think?
Uh-huh.
Well, I like it. I like it a lot. I was so impressed. Like, legitimately, like, they were watching me as I was, like, watching the episode and everything like that. I was like, this is so much better. This is so smart. I'm loving the storylines. I'm loving the character interactions. I love the casting they did. I love the world building they got going on. I'm like, this show is making all the right decisions. Like, it's low-key, like, doing that main thing that we kind of talked about that we've always, like, discussed, is that they kind of matured Power Rangers in a couple different ways. Because they kind of, like, matured with their audience and kind of brought people along with them. And so, I gotta say, like, I'm loving it. I liked it a lot. So, I'm happy to be here, happy to be talking about it.
Oh, nice,
Awesome.
nice. In the chat, people are automatically thinking, I can smell a Donnie Dope Kick sneaker promotion. That's what a lot of people are saying already. They're wondering if it's going to happen here, if it's going to happen there. It is the Henshin Hangout takeover, so I don't know. And Daryl automatically has to make sure he says it, and this is something that you guys may not know. Congratulations to Justin. Justin, you are now on the Blu-ray cover of Vice movie.
That's right.
Your quote. Your quote.
Yeah.
Justin is, of course, a professional reviewer, man. You guys don't know that. If you guys don't know, yes, that's him. And they happened to make sure they mentioned you.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioning them.
I made a nice. I said a nice thing about the movie. They used the pull quote for the ad campaign, and now it's on the Blu-ray. And I found it out while shopping for Power Ranger toys at a Target.
Which isn't bad. I mean, hey, it's a great way to spend time.
Yeah.
Like people, you know, the new thing where people are always saying, "Oh, Ray, you're Coachella, but have you ever been to a Target?" You know, that's the thing people ask me. So it's not bad that you feel that way.
Target.
Oh, that's right. You say it properly.
Target.
You say it properly.
It was like, where'd you get those hand towels? Target. That's true. You get that queso and chips. Target.
And it used to be like, oh, it's only Target if it's like above blah 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 whatever street. No, they've taken them all away from there. So now they're all in those kind of
Target.
Yeah, that's true. I do love it. But let's stay on Target and talk about this episode today.
Right.
So with this episode, we had a lot of things going on. We had Devin, our Red Ranger leader, bumping heads with Ravi, who a lot of people still feel should be the leader because he's had the training.
Sure.
He's had the training.
Sure.
See, this is the thing. Devin didn't have the. See, this is the thing. Devin didn't have the training. Devin just shows up and boom, he becomes the Ranger. Yeah. I like him as the leader. I really do. Except there are some points I will point out in this episode.
He's a natural talent, though. As we learned from this episode, he has the instincts. And the instincts matter. As we learned from this episode. Trust your instincts, because y'all ain't got them.
I kind of want
I gotta hear this.
I want to jump back a little bit.
Yes.
An episode before.
Yes.
Johnny, you haven't seen this app.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Robbie should have been a little... should have had some consequences with a certain action he did an episode ago where he stole something.
Oh, dude.
And should have had a slap on the wrist.
He
Should have been
probably
reprimanded.
did. He probably did, because the thing is, what we are noticing when we are watching these episodes, time does pass.
Yeah.
And things happen in between that we don't even see.
Right.
And sometimes they may throw a little mention of it, other times they don't. Now, we do know
what
that
did
this
he do?
episode...
Robbie stole a device from Grid Battle Force because he thought that was going to be helping out Roxy. Because there was an assumption that Roxy might still have some good in her.
Yes.
She pulled it. Psych! Still a baddie. And then part of me feels like, Robbie,
Yeah.
should have...
But he did it for love,
I
man.
know he did, but
Yeah.
And then
also
his
but he
mother is in charge.
But he endangered everybody, and his mom didn't like. His mom didn't even like. He should have been really, really, really gotten something out of that. But instead, we kind of move on.
Hey, well, first off...
here's the thing.
first-
I'm bringing that up because it proves
okay.
proves that Robbie isn't ready to lead if he's making reckless decisions like that.
Wait.
Oh, Ravi. No, he's saying the Blue Ranger is not ready to lead. That's what he's saying. And I do get
Does
that.
it, though?
But on the other end, well, no, go ahead.
Because to play devil's advocate, though, because our episode today showed reasoning why the Red Ranger wasn't ready to lead. Well, Ravi was making the cautious decisions and whatnot, but I can see what you're saying, though, because in the greater scheme of things, talking about going back to the original point, while the Blue Ranger does have the proper training, that's the only thing the Red Ranger's lacking, because he has the proper instincts to lead. Yeah. Had he had the training, he would have been fine. So that's the thing, though. So the Red Ranger's only lacking the training, but he has the natural instincts for leadership, whereas Ravi still needs to develop those. Low key, though, it kind of reminds me of Power Rangers SPD.
Yeah.
Because I say
sure.
Oh my God, I heard someone else say this.
Absolutely.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. But
all right.
before we move on, I do this all the time on History Hangout, so don't mind if I do it here. We got a super chat!
Yes, we do. That is correct. And it is Cool Handle Name. Hit us with a super chat telling us immediately, Johnny, I got some Fago for you. Right there. If you guys don't know, deep cut. Johnny has been littered with people telling him that he needs to become a fan of the Insane Clown Posse. So much so, he's getting emails, he's getting pictures, he's getting stuff sent to him. If you guys want to join in on that,
don't do it. No,
fan questions at thathashtagshow.com.
No, Insane Clown Posse.
Tell us why.
No, Justin, you're my hitchin, bro. Help.
Is so good.
No.
Please let us know, and we'll make Johnny read them.
No, I won't. No, I won't. Please don't.
We gotta move on.
So, okay, back to it.
move on.
Okay, you're right. Look at him. He's the leader. I'm trusting his instincts.
Move on.
I'm trusting his instincts.
No, the sad thing is, I'm from Detroit. I love Fago. Fago is magically delicious. It is low key for somebody from Detroit. It is our spinach. We just zoom it up.
Oh my God!
But they're low key ruining my magic spinach. Why?
Okay. Well,
why?
Okay. Moving back into it, getting back on Tarjay, as we said earlier. The trust my instincts issue. For me, it's the Devin doing a lot of things, being the only child and a leader at the same time, where it's just so everyone has to listen to me. It's just the way it works. You know, you're playing in my sandbox, and that's how it's going to go in one way. And it's it feels like a lot of ego taking over, where we decided he was the leader because he chose to do away with his ego while everyone else was fighting to be the leader. So now this kind of takes a step back for that character for me. And because of that, I feel it's you guys could have done better on that. You didn't really think about this because what's happening in between? There's something happening in between, and I don't know what it is, because what would really elicit all of this? Just because he saw Benny get a compliment from Ravi, he automatically gets upset, and then he feels in his feelings just because of that one compliment, and then later, while you're doing the simulation, I have another problem because you're telling me I'm not doing well? Yeah. Look, I'm the leader, and listen to me. Instincts. No. Where did that ego come from? Because it wasn't there before.
May I?
Yes.
Because I agree with you. That's a valid point. But for me, the reason why that ego came up is because failure. The thing about it is, though, he was making mistakes because the first time we saw the ego was at the beginning of the episode when he was launching the rocket, and then when the rocket didn't go as planned, he felt a little inadequate, and then Robbie started giving him advice and everything like that, but his ego was somewhat fractured.
Right.
So that's low-key where the ego came from right there, because he had experienced failure and he had a hard time learning from it, which is pretty much what this whole episode was about.
Which is why the commander said that whole thing about leaders can fail as well and blah blah.
Exactly.
If they don't know how to do teamwork.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I was saying, like, I praise this episode so much, because you're getting multiple moral lessons here. Like, one, you're talking about the whole aspect of failure, about how it's okay to fail as long as you learn from it, you grow from it the next time, which is we saw by the end of the episode he did. You also have the whole like aspect of as well as like you need to trust your teammates, and which is a great episode to do when we're trying to bring the Zords together, because the Zord formation is all about trust. As anybody knows who watches a little show called Voltron, Legendary Defender of the Universe, the thing about it is that there, when they form Voltron, again, they always talk about it's always about trust and friendship, bringing that together. But before we move on to like the next point, we got another super chat.
Boom!
Right.
That's right, and this one comes from Bat2C Blur, and it says, should Beast Morphers use Megazord countdown clocks?
I think you're referring to the Megazord countdown clock from Go Busters. And let me say this. Yeah, they should.
Oh,
they totally should.
really?
I love it. Every time they did it in Go Busters, it added tension to the scene.
It literally was a ticking clock.
It was a ticking clock, and it's like every time you see like they have to stop this thing, and but there's this clock on the corner of the screen, and every time it's like 10, 9, 8, and they're like, oh crap, they gotta get to their Zords now.
Now, yeah.
And I really, really would love to see Beast Morphers do it. Now that being said, because the Sentai Toku guy as well here, I am a big fan of the use of Go Busters footage in this episode.
Yes!
Now, one of the cool things I remember when I was watching Go Busters, I really loved the idea that, and it's incorporated here, and they did their take, and I loved it, which is combining is not easy.
No. Well, usually there's always some kind of thing. As of late, it's been this way since after Power Rangers back with the Alien Rangers. It's always been about synergy. If there is no synergy, we can't combine and create the Megazord. It's always something in that way. So this wasn't far from it, and I do love that.
No, it's cool, and that's one thing that was great in Go Busters is that they had to train to get it right. And it's funny, what they did for training very different here. They decided to go for a VR thing. I went, totally makes sense. Why would you screw up your Zords?
No, exactly.
If you think about modern aerial like aeronautics and everything like that, they have flight machines.
That's right.
Pilots, before they go up into the air, are like doing tests on flight machines, everything like that. They get used to it, get high enough scores, and so in a militaristic like Power Rangers universe, it only makes sense they would do that too. I totally agree.
Absolutely, and it's a really well use of the footage.
Yeah. And again, I gotta say, I just really like this show.
I'm telling you.
Like again, I love the fact that we're finally getting that like militaristic like Power Rangers, which brings me back to days of like SPD and whatnot. And then I'm also loving the fact that we have again civilians who are part of this, and there's good reason why the civilians are part of this. And so I'm loving that logic as well. And by the way, can I just say, dude, the villains are dope. Again, going back to SPD, like when the A Squad like turned against them and whatnot, we didn't see the A Squad till like 30 episodes later or whatnot when they come back. But here, boom, the A Squad is always there.
Yes.
And again, they're over there trying to take them down, always involved, and they think, but so they're trained, if not better, than the actual team. And it just makes it that much cooler.
And we've already had moments. Funny enough, I don't know if you haven't seen it yet, but we've had moments where they try to play on their kind of whole the semblance of, oh hey, we were a team, blah blah blah. They play on it, and they sent Roxy, that one right there. That's the yellow bad guy.
Oh,
Roxy
the one who
right
you
there.
said was a baddie.
Yeah.
So they
in more ways than one. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Wow.
That's how dope Kicks rolls.
I'm just saying, don't use our show here for that. Okay?
I'm sorry.
Commander, I miss you.
I'm sorry.
Wait.
I know what you're talking about. So, okay. I don't, what? No, what? Look at her. She tells me what to do, and I'm like, yes, ma'am. I agree with you. I agree.
Oh, wait.
What's going on?
Hey, girl, you back?
What? Whoa.
You should never left.
What?
I'm sorry, wait.
What is going on here?
Sorry.
Stop this.
Justin, get us back on target.
Target.
Oh, no. But one thing that you did point out about how they are doing with the countdown clock and things like that, I did love that we had a moment of real-time kind of Megazord assembly. And I always wondered, like, wait a minute, why don't the monsters just attack during? They immediately went to answer that, where usually we have to look for extended kind of stories in comics and blah, blah, blah that answer those plot holes. They were like, no, we're going to make sure that we answer that plot hole right here on the show. And there's a force field. Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
And the cool... Go ahead, Justin.
Go ahead.
I was just saying the cool thing about it is some people are like, well, why don't you use the force field all the time? But I mean, there's a lot of like again, it's usually pretty obvious because one, force fields are very draining of energy.
Yep. Exactly.
So the thing about this, though, the Zord assembly takes anywhere from about 10 seconds to maybe about 60 seconds. So you can spend that energy for that amount of time, protect yourself. So it totally makes logical sense. It's a really smart way to do this.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And again, it's one of the great thing. This obviously came from GoBusters, but it's such a great idea, and I'm really glad that because of the good stuff that GoBusters did, the good groundwork, the good groundedness of their concept of doing the Sentai concept, Power Rangers benefits. And now it's like, hey, you know that thing that everyone made fun of while watching Power Rangers as they grew up? Guess what? They have the answer for that now.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now they too have
So
the
there
answer.
it is.
And
There
totally
it
works.
is. And it's like, it does. It adds so much to it. And the one thing I am noticing, which you pointed out, which are the villains are great. They are a really great part of the show. And with it, along with the villains, what we are getting more of is Hasbro's taking a step away from Saban in a way by doing the whole thing of, you know what, let's finally put characters and story first and toy sales second.
Oh my gosh.
We took 6 episodes to get to our Megazord.
Yeah.
And what did we do in those 6 episodes? We built characters. We built stories.
Yeah.
And now we are finally getting a plot thread that is coming through, and we are seeing the Easter eggs for it all through this episode and the one prior. This show is so good now.
And no, and I agree with you because it's cool as well because by doing that, take your time with it, I become invested in these characters. Like again, like Roxy.
Yes.
Roxy's so dope, and I was telling like, dude, I love her design. Like, I love her costume, I love her armor. She has the cape, and so guess what? I'm not on board by the Megazord yet, but please believe I'm ready to buy me a Roxy figure. Oh, sure. Because that looks so badass. She looks like a little miniature Gundam walking around every night.
Yes.
She took out a beam saber sword and started going to work. I'd be like, go bad guys, go bad guys, go bad guys, go bad guys. I'm like, I would turn sides. Again, great design work, and we were able to appreciate that.
One of the best moments in this episode for sure, and it hangs on the idea of, hey, Devin's got to learn how to trust his teammates more. Hey, Devin has to trust that Robbie isn't trying to talk him down. He's trying to help him. So one of the best moments in this episode is while they're fighting in the hangar. Robbie grabs Devin.
Yes.
Throws him out of the door.
Oh, man.
And Devin's like, what are you doing? I can help out. No. You can help out by getting the Zord to getting us out of here. We'll handle them inside of here. One of my favorite moments in the episode, also one of my favorite moments in GoBusters, but it's straightened by what's the message of this episode. Trust your teammates. Robbie knows what he's talking about. It's like, this is the plan. I figured it out, but you still need to finish it. Right. And I'm going to trust you on that. And that's really, really cool.
No, that's dope. I totally agree with you. I have something to say about that before we get to that, though. We got another super chat!
All right. God, I love the way you do this. It's so fun. This is so fun. Why do we do this all the time?
Okay. We do this all the time on Henshin.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, Bat Tootsie Blur happens to say, do you think Beat J Stag will be an evil bot first?
You got real excited about
that. I did. The J thing is my, that's...
Jay's great?
Yeah, so
Jay's
that was my thing.
Jays are amazing, Justin.
That's right.
No, but we had a little bit of an Easter egg with Jay earlier. So that's why I was like, oh my God, there it is. If you guys don't know, well, Bat Tootsie definitely does. Yeah. Apparently. But we got an Easter egg, guys. Last week we saw that helmet roll across on a scene while they were fighting, and everyone stopped and looked at it. And that should have been your kind of nod to let you know, hey, something's going on. Yeah. But are we getting introduced to the silver and gold so soon? Is that what we're getting? That's the question.
Here's the thing.
Because in Sentai, silver and gold, it's a big plot thread, it's a story arc, it's big. And here comes Skronzel kind of taking things, and apparently, Skronzel was supposed to take all of those things that he did take. Yeah. They were part of a plan that he has with Evox, a.k.a. Serpentor.
Right.
Cobra, la 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 la.
But, no, here's the thing. That's something I didn't suspect, is the idea that, obviously I'm a big fan of Beat J Stag. I love that character from GoBusters.
So dope.
He's great, and I'm looking forward to then when I saw Skronzel take the parts, I'm like, oh, that's an angle I didn't think about they would do, and they could do that. Yeah, there's a possibility that when he shows up, whatever they end up calling him in the show, he might be a bad guy, and however he's used will we'll see.
Yeah, and it's cool though because it's like they're taking their time with it too. Because I'm sorry.
Oh no, I have a theory. Go ahead.
I was gonna say because the interesting thing about it is like unlike traditional like Sentai. So for people who don't know, Sentai goes year round. There is no off season. The episode, all 52 episodes, usually like week to week to week, with maybe an off week here or there.
Yeah.
And
If there's like a football or a soccer game,
or like a holiday or something like that,
or like a holiday,
like Christmas they eat chicken.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
Come
can't
on,
get, yeah.
when it ain't got you understand that.
Yeah.
But in between here, with that split things up into 2 seasons, it allows them to elongate things while also keeping the storyline moving with good, interesting storylines. Like this one, low key reminds me of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, where they didn't have a Sixth Ranger, but the American show created a Sixth Ranger for the show, and it was actually a really good storyline. The Sixth Ranger from there, really great character, really great storylines, really engaging. So it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
My boy Titanium Ranger.
Oh, see, I do like it. I do like it. But my thing is right now, if they are choosing to introduce us to the gold and silver, or silver and gold, however you guys want to say it, if they're looking to introduce us to that, I think the way to do that, as far as having Jay show up as a bad guy first, would be interesting. And I think one way they can do it, there's a plan going on with Spronzo and Evox.
Yeah.
My theory right now. What if what he's doing is collecting parts so that this way we can actually have Evox have an actual body? What if that's what they're doing? They're trying to get all these parts, put everything together to actually give Evox a physical body. He's supposed to be able to come down here soon. Maybe that's what they're doing the whole time, which wouldn't be bad. Cool. Which wouldn't be bad. It's a great theory. I'm just saying.
And then something very similar happened in RPM with
That's
Vengex.
That's
so,
right.
I mean,
so just
very
let you guys know, maybe that's something that could be happening. And
do you want to do a hot sauce bet on that?
Whoa.
So people who don't know, on Henshin Hangout, we do these hot wing challenges with very, very spicy hot wings that we've got from the last hot sauce we got from actually the hot wing. It was one of the hot ones hot sauces. So when we make a hot wings bet, whoever is wrong has to eat some very, very hot wings.
Oh, God.
Come on, what you want to do, Daniel? Tell you what, if you do it, we'll let you come and hit shit hang out.
Let's make it a thing, guys.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're shaking with Justin. I'm not part of this.
Oh, you're not going to be
I don't do this. No.
What episode?
By what episode do I have to?
Yeah, that's how
May the odds may ever be in your favor.
That's what happened to me.
I need it to happen by episode. We're on episode 6 right now. I need it to happen. We're having 22 in the season, so I need it to happen by episode 15.
15. Ooh,
that's close. Careful. I said 16.
Oh, actually, no, wait.
That was his downfall.
Yeah, it was
17, because that means 5 episodes left of them trying to deal with the fact that he had the body.
Before we settle that official, make it official.
Okay.
Johnny, what do we have?
We got another super chat.
Oh, boom! And that's from the only Toku Kid.
Kid.
That's right. And he has to say maybe why Jay can become a ranger and acts human. So he's saying that maybe Jay can become a ranger and then, kind of act human. Is that it?
Cool. Possible, yeah.
It would be good compared to the other ones that we have that even though they have personality, we don't really see them do enough. That would be a better way to go. Okay. I would love it. I would love it, definitely, for sure. I have a problem with the episode. I do have one problem with the episode.
I think we have the same problem.
It's the gun.
Yeah,
it's the gun.
The gun.
The gun in the cockpit. It's not safe. One, I don't know how he hasn't blown a hole inside of that cockpit every time. And it's kind of silly to me that a gun with that much power can power up, and then he has to shoot it into most likely he shoots it into some funnel, and it takes the power in and charges the sword. I get that. Putting it all together in my head, fine. That's it. Why? Because Rangers. So, that's fine.
Why? Because toy cells.
So, hey, there you go.
This is a Nerf gun.
And I will be honest, it does look cool, though. It does look cool.
It's a Nerf gun that is on my list, my wish list, guys. Pay attention to my Amazon wish list. And, I would definitely go for it. But the thing is, so you shoot it in the cockpit, and then it goes inside the sword, charges up the sword. Now the sword is super charged up, and you can chop down a bad guy. If the gun is that strong, why don't you just get out of the thing and just, all right, pop, and then boom, that's it. Yeah. Every fight, you'd be able to finish it, but if you did that, they wouldn't have a show.
Well, no, they actually done that on Power Ranger.
What? No,
they've done that on Power Ranger.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Lupin versus Power Ranger, the show that we review on Hitchin' Hangout we just finished reviewing, he got a gun that was like super powerful. So at one point, the Zord takes him out, and those Red Rangers in his hand, and he shoots the gun and kills the monster that way. It's
pretty dope.
It's super dope. These are things we watch on Henshin Hangout. Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
So you mean if you haven't been watching Henshin Hangout with us, you should probably watch Henshin Hangout with us.
We live the good life.
Dude, I mean then. Oh, I need to watch it.
And then later on, later on, spoilers, the gun becomes a Zord. Like Megatron.
It's like a Megatron. Very much like Megatron. Very much like Megatron.
Why are you guys not watching Henshin Hangout and everything that's happening there right now? This is where it needs to be. Dear God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now,
but yeah, so this would have been better if that had happened, or if they had just like the gun comes out, there's a slot where he like injects it into, and like Doom turns it and boom does it that way. It's like, okay, that makes sense.
Still, it's the gun one.
I agree.
It's too much work.
I agree. If I have a little knock on the show so far, and is you introduced the Beast Bots. You introduced them, you named them. Their name is Cruz, Smash, and Jax.
Yes.
And again, I'm a big fan of Go Busters, and they're called the Buddy Roids.
Yes.
Because they're buddies.
They're buddies, and I love them. I adore them. They're great. They're supportive. They're overprotective.
They got great jokes.
They got great
jokes.
They can bake.
They make sushi sometimes.
The rabbit one
uses more wasabi.
The rabbit one argues with yellow, and it's great. I'm kind of bummed that this show doesn't know how to use it.
Hey, we're only in episode 6. We don't know how far they're going to go. We just got confirmation. We just got confirmation that they are finishing up season 2 right now. That's what Copeland was just saying.
Right.
The mayor. He was just saying how they're just finishing up season 2.
Yeah.
So we don't know what else they have for us. But he said for people that are the people that, as he said, are down with the source material, you're going to love what we do.
I'm hoping.
That's what he says, and I'm like, okay, that sounds good to me. And that's an actor saying that. That isn't a ranger.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm kind of excited, but I don't want to go too excited.
Because I love these characters, and the version they did, the version that they're setting up in their show, they seem like they're pretty enjoyable. They look great. You have the suits. I don't know why they're not in the stories more often.
Exactly, because the cool thing, the piggyback off Justin, that was the cool thing about Go Busters. Again, they had personality. They cracked jokes. They were just as much part of the team as the Rangers were.
Yep.
Because when the team started with 3, you were like, wait, you only go 3 characters running around. But no, you had 6.
Yep.
And so you were able to wait for like more Rangers to come in later on because you had a full cast to play with. And the cool thing about it was, going back to like forming the Zords, or forming the Megazord, it's all about the relationship.
That's right.
And so that's what made you more invested in this as well, because they're in the Zords as well. And so when the Zords get hurt, the Buddy Roids get hurt.
Exactly.
And so the thing about this was like, by not having that, it low-key decreases the stakes. But at the same time, though, I agree with Justin. That was like my knock. But at the same time, though, dang, did I not like this episode, though? Because of all the pathos and like emotion that we got and whatnot, I just had to be honest and say that like this is a drastic improvement for Power Rangers.
Yes, it is. So from the last series,
I agree. Exactly. So can it still get better though? Heck yeah.
Yes.
But is it getting better? Yes.
It's already better. I want it to be more, but it's still already better.
I feel you. It's at a B right now.
Okay, this is
it's
just want to get an A.
It is at a B.
Exactly.
It's so close.
Right now for you, it's a B+ player.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a B+ player.
Jeez.
Now hold on. Now this is something I'm seeing in the chat. In the chat, a lot of people were saying.
People know.
People were saying in the chat recently. A lot of people were saying it. The morph sequence. Layla, other people are starting to agree with her on and on and on. She's getting a rally going on with it, which is people saying they're not liking that morph. They're counting it, the morphing sequence or whatever, they're counting it as really lazy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Well, you guys think like, the morphing sequence, it is lazy or blah, blah? Is it?
It's okay. Like is it like, okay, so
before
we get into that though, we just have to say because
we
got another super chat.
Two.
We gotta do it twice then. We got another super chat. So we got one from Seth Films, which says, "What kind of voice would you want American Jay to have, and who would you like to voice him?" Good question.
Dang. Well, since my man is already voicing a character here, he's been carried over from the last Power Rangers series over to this one as one of the voices for the red one. Who would I want? Do you want to go for someone that's classic in Power Rangers, or do you want to shake it up and say, Jezzer Reyes is who my answer is. That's what I want. Let's have this happen, guys. Let's push it for Jezzer Reyes to be the voice. This would be great. Come on, man. How do you guys not see this? He is attainable. He is someone that we will push out, and you guys, we'll have him travel the country by himself just to shake people's hands. It would be amazing. I say let's do it. Let's push for Jezzer. That's my answer. But what about you guys?
Stunt casting idea.
Okay.
Stunt casting idea.
Okay.
Hear me. I've never thought. It's a great question. First time. What else? Great question. Never thought of that. Stunt casting idea. What about David Yost?
Oh!
I low-key was going to do you one better, too, though.
Ooh.
Because low-key, I was thinking about it. Because, again, it'd be cool to have some more diversity here.
Yeah.
And so you can low-key have them voiced by someone of color. And I was just thinking about, like, Walter Jones.
So you okay? So and you guys put the.
So low-key, this is what happens when you're on Henshin. You start thinking.
Oh my god! Like you guys picked the con buddies.
So close.
You guys picked the con buddies right there for them. Oh my god! I would be so down for that.
Want to be dope, but I always just said Walter Jones. It'd be cool just to have him back because he's one of the few that haven't come back in such a long time.
That's true.
So it'd just be so dope to have him part of this.
Him and David. So either one, you're right. Either one, and it's also because like if they stick with whatever they stick to something close to Jay's character in the original show, he would be a fun character.
He would be, and Walter would have so much fun with that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. But
That's a good idea.
But you see, before we go back and talk about the Morphe sequence, because we ain't forgot about it, we have that other super chat from the Bat2C Blur. It says, they still keep using the scene of Devin loading into the Megazord, and I agree more Beast bot usage is needed. And Daniel, have you started Resoldier?
I'll say they keep using that footage because that's just stock footage.
Yeah.
Even in Japan, that's the same.
Yeah, they use it.
Like every episode when Redbuster has to like get into the Zord, it's the same footage. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes we have to use some level of what we call stock footage. It just saves money, and that's what they're doing. And I can't be mad at them for it. I understand the way shows work, so yeah, I'll let that happen. As far as Ryusoulger, I'm sorry, I haven't. I know.
Don't worry, you're good, man.
You got time.
We're on episode 3 right now?
Yeah.
No, actually, no.
No, you guys are, you guys are,
4 or 5.
5. You're 5 right now.
Sorry,
I was looking it up.
fine.
Yeah.
I miscount sometimes.
You're
Yeah.
fine. It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Yeah,
guys.
you got
I'm
time. You got
sorry. I'm
time.
sorry.
That's like a nice little Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, make a sandwich, sit down with some chips, have a
Make
good
a
time.
sandwich, maybe.
lovely.
I could do like a
Sounds
grilled
great.
cheese or like a tuna melt, and then after that have like a tomato bisque, and then like a little bit of welcome to cooking with the Rangers. No.
There it is. But going back to the whole revolution app about the Morphe sequence. So do you guys feel about the Morphe sequence like pretty lazy, or how do you feel about it?
I mean, the thing is like one of the things about GoBusters that I love is realizing that there's no preset morphing.
Yeah.
Every time they morph, and I can say it this time because they literally say it's morphing time in GoBusters. It's always like new footage. There was never stock footage.
It was also Instamorph. Though,
Yeah, it was
right?
also Instamorph.
Because the thing about this is
right.
they were wearing the uniform, so pretty much you're just putting on the helmet.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was it.
So the here it's I was like when I saw like the initial like the cloud and then the animal heads. I went, ooh, dope. Ooh, dope. That's so good.
Yeah.
But then they went back to the stock morph
Yep.
footage. I'm like, I mean, that's fine.
And here's the thing, though. I would just say that, like,
And
I will say
I
that,
guess
like,
I agree.
when they use the cloud and stuff like that, I was like, this is dope. But when you go to the regular stuff, I will say this, though. It is a little bit lazy. And the thing about it is, though, the reason why is because, for me, a great morphing sequence is going to come into play in those serious moments. So when the team is, like, getting beat down, you've been beat to the point where you unmorphed, it looks like everything's down there. That's when you give up. You get that biggest rush. You'll be like, no! We're Rangers, and Rangers don't give up.
Oh, like
it's morphin' time, and then that's when you do the sequence and whatnot.
Okay.
And so I will say that again, it helps add impact to it because I think back to like some of my favorite moments, like for Henshin, I think back always to Go Kiger.
Yep.
Go Kiger's
Yep.
morphin' sequence was amazing, and then I give a lot of props to Power Rangers Wild Force.
Yeah.
Like I know some people hate on it, but again, that's when at the end where they got their jackets and they're like, but
wasn't that the one in the rain?
Yeah.
Oh God, that was the best. That was the best.
So dope, so dope. I remember somebody hated on that. It was like, no, that was awesome. That was
I love the way he was like, no, and he hits the ground and the water comes up. It was like Beyonce's movement where she did that thing in the water on the stage.
Or like Tom Hodges, we did Dancing in the Rain.
Yeah,
like, lip sync battle, so dope.
And then just water splashes up, and they're just in for it. I was like, this is what I need. So I do understand. So I do understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I do
so
understand
going back to
why
this,
you
though,
can say it is lazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It
because
is.
That's where it comes into play like later on.
Now, did you guys happen to? There was an Easter egg. There was a quick Easter egg.
Yeah, there
Devin
is.
happened to mention Nasada. Did you guys hear it?
I did.
Okay.
I did hear
Now,
that.
if you don't know what Nasada is pretty much the analog of NASA in
that was the Power Ranger in space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Lost in
yeah.
space.
Yeah.
So it was so dope when he was like, "Oh my God, blah blah," and he mentioned Nasada. I was like, "I'm reading notes." Like it was just big for me
my
because it's
gosh.
like I love how they're bringing everything together.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Hasbro is doing all the things we asked.
Yep.
They're making Power Rangers to a shared universe.
Oh, they already did earlier.
They have
when
delivered
they started this.
They have
When
delivered us from
started
the evil of Saban.
Yes.
They are correcting all the mistakes.
When they
Go
started this,
Hasbro.
man.
Go Hasbro.
When they started it, they have a moment where the mayor says, well, we got to worry about Rita Repulsa, blah, blah, yada,
No
yada.
way.
And he says alternate dimensions. Like, he gives an answer for everything
That
to
is
say
so
that
dope.
it's all one shared, like, continuity, but different dimensions and blah, blah, blah.
I would love to be
perfect.
I would so love to be the press secretary for this world. Just becoming like, guys, Goldar's at it again. He destroyed the factory district. We knew it was coming. That dang Goldar. And then, wait, what? Rito's here too, everybody. Oh, God, they're back together again. The ultimate tag team of monsters. Oh, God, no. I love this.
Remember
this
them in
so
Broken
dope.
Skull. Oh, it's all weird. It's just like, they start talking about stuff. You're like, what?
I'm sorry. If they ever gave Rito and Goldar their own like spin-off TV show, I would happily watch it for the comedy antics.
I would watch that show.
And then Goldar's like, I need you to leave tonight. Why? My wife's Scorpion's coming
Oh,
over.
yeah.
You're married? That'll be hilarious.
Then he tells them, oh, yeah, and I like her to stay in the kitchen because that's what I said in Sentai. And, oh, don't say that. It's problematic.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
She'll kill you like she tried to do in Sentai. Oh, God. It would be bad. It would be bad.
My God.
But I think with this, we have covered this episode from
thoroughly.
end to end.
Yeah.
This episode was designed to be something I think that was kind of getting us into where we needed to be. And I do want to know what you guys think on your scores as far as what your episode, what do you like? 1 to 5, 1 being lowest, 5 being the highest. Let us know what you think of the episode. We want those audience scores. And while we're looking for your scores,
Oh, but here's the thing though,
Yeah.
because it's funny because like I just noticed that it was weird how So Justin, because you watched all of Go Busters, so this was kind of weird to me. So the rabbit gets around by moving around on, was it wheels?
Yeah.
He's got wheels, yeah.
And then what does the gorilla have?
He walks.
Like on paws?
No, he's kind of like a big lumbering guy, so he just walks on his feet.
Okay, and then the Ranger, Red Ranger, what does he use?
He's just a person.
So how does he get around?
He just walks.
Oh, so he has feet.
Yeah, his feet.
Yeah.
Does he wear shoes?
He just got...
I think he answers.
Does he have shoes?
No, he does not.
boots.
But you know what though? If he did have shoes, he might wear these. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Johnny Dope Kick, with a dope kick for you. Ooh, what am I breaking out? This is a Vans classic. This is the deconstructed Vans. You're gonna like, why is there a zipper? Why are there checks on the side? That's right. So while I'm giving you a recommendation for the summer, this is a great summer shoe, tan and white, checkers. It will catch people's eyes, and it is amazing. That's right. Again, the Vans Deconstructed Classic, only for $90. What a deal. Again, this is your boy, Johnny Dope Kicks, with another cool shoe for you. But you know what, though? What, Daniel?
I like shoes. And
You
I
like
like last
shoes?
week that you brought up some shoes that were dope. Flyknits, I think.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting with Flyknits?
What?
Bow, baby!
Oh, bam!
Bow! I happen to got my own here. And
Oh,
I had to talk
wow.
about them. Now, I love Flyknits because the thing is, it's kind of like if your grandmother was like, oh, hey, baby, I heard you like Jordans, so I knitted you some. That's what they look like. They look like they are knit, but they still have the great Jordan feel.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Premium leather on the side. I have
premium
two
leather
pairs
on
of
the
these.
inside.
Yep,
Oh,
I have the
they're
red
just
pair and the blue
beautiful.
pair.
I love everything about them. So, thank you, Johnny Dope Kicks,
Of course.
for the recommendation.
And then, for people
I'm gonna pick
wondering,
them up.
this is the Jordan 1 Flyknit Shadow
Shadow.
colorway. The Flyknit material makes it ultra light and super comfortable. I have a pair of the red and the blue that I'm betting you'll see at some point.
Oh, yeah, definitely wear them during the summer, too. They breathe. Oh, boom.
Bam.
There you go, guys.
That's not zombies. Justin, do you have anything to share?
My shoes are brown Skechers. They are kind of work shoes. My one pair of shoe every year, and I'm fine with them.
That's it. How it works.
I give
It's
this
what works
episode
for you.
out of 5. Out of 5, I give this episode a nice solid 4. It's a solid 4. 4 out of 5.
Well, for me, out of 5, really, like I said, I had the knock. It was like kind of like, okay, this is taken down for me. This is stuff that I'm not liking. But this episode just went head over heels, just above everybody else. It's amazing for me. So it's getting my first 5 of the season. This episode is 5 worthy. I love it. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing. Keep 100 with you. Mm-hmm. I have high standards.
Okay.
I come from the world of Henshin. In Henshin, we hold it down. But the thing about it is, though, Henshin, we hold it down because we have amazing action.
Yes.
We have great storytelling.
Yes.
And we have amazing, like, funny sequences, and we have a great balanced cast.
Okay.
And so here's the thing. In this episode, I'm liking everybody. I like the villains. I like our main cast. I like the pathos that we got here. And I didn't even get a chance to shout out our new Bulk and Skull that we got.
Betty.
So hilarious. So all in all, your boys got to represent. I got to give this a solid 4. Not going to go 5 because again, it's still early on. But this is a solid 4.
We're
This is a good
sandwiched
episode.
between 2 4s.
Here comes that 5, shining bright. I'm saying this was pretty good. Let's figure out what everybody else is giving it right now. Let me see. I think people were kind of shook from the dope kicks. They were just like, I didn't see that coming, but 2 times. So Jared Hodges gives it a 5 out of 5. Ryan Infinity Wizard gives it a 5. Thea Games gives it a 4.5 out of 5. Shadow Nova, 4 out of 5. Ronald Doe, 4 out of 5. Layla, 4.5 because I'm petty and I don't like the morph sequence. Go ahead. Yes, I feel it. As a very petty, I feel you. Bat Tusi gives it a 4.9. Demolition Man says he gives it a 4 out of 5 simply because the foreshadowing with Silver. Yes, I like it. Thomas Franco, 4 out of 5, 4.5. Edward Sanchez, 5 out of 5 is Edward Sanchez approved, ladies and gentlemen. And Animal says 4.5. Oh, we still got scores. I love this. Ronald Doe said 4 out of 5. Blackwing, 4.5 out of 5 for him. And let me see. Seth Film says, watch it on Monday out of 5.
All right.
So
that's some pretty nice
good.
reviews.
I
feel
sounds
like
we got a general, yeah.
Are
people
enjoying
like
what they got.
I think so. And I love the fact that people are enjoying it. I love the fact that they enjoyed us being able to go over it, kind of pick it apart, tell you exactly what we felt about it.
Thank you for the super chats.
Yes, we definitely appreciate the super chats. Cool handle name.
Matt Tusi Blur, Seth Films, and Toku Kid.
That's right. We definitely appreciate it. Without you guys, we wouldn't be on the air.
Just want to say, I appreciate you for allowing us to come on Ranger Wrap Up with you today.
Hey,
it was great being here.
It was great. It was fun.
That was for you, sir.
Okay. I didn't know.
Brought you in.
I was coming in like this. There you go.
If you loved our antics, please stick around. We'll be back talking about
a little show by the name of Henshin Hang Out. Henshin Hang Out.
We'll be talking about the newest episode of Rhea Soldier. That's right. You did a great job.
Good job.
Talking about the newest episode of Rhea Soldier. And surprise, Johnny, what else are we talking about?
We're going to be talking about some of our favorite moments from a little Kamen Rider show known as Kamen Rider Build.
Little throwback talk.
Dang, all right. Well,
and you never know who might show up in the chat, even though he's all the way out in Chicago right now. Jezzer's always near.
Oh, and that's coming up in what, about 15 minutes?
Yes, it is.
All right, so 15 minutes. Go ahead and grab your sandwich, do what you need to do. Show back up. 15 minutes. We're going to be here with the Henshin Hangout, with the Henshin Bros, and who knows, may call in. So let's go ahead and be ready for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. You are?
Justin Keyson.
And where can they find you?
At Justin Quiz on Instagram, at Justin Keyson on Twitter.
It's your boy, Johnny Dope Kicks. You can find me at Johnny P313 on Instagram, Twitter, and Gumroad, because your boy writes comics, and my books are available for sale right there.
Oh, I heard you just put something together, like a volume or anything?
Oh, yes, I did. My series Broken just put out its first trade, which premiered at WonderCon. Did well. The fans liked it. Had a great time. Next stop will be Comic-Con, but in the meantime, issue 1 is on sale right now on Gumroad for only $5. So if you want to go check it out, check that out there. You can go and read it. It's a great read.
Oh my God! I would love to do like an After Dark and talk to you two about like the stuff you guys do outside of hashtag, just to really like let people know like how multifaceted you guys are. It's like amazing.
Thank you.
For me, you can find.
I'm sorry. I was saying the After Dark I want to see is when producer Josh does his. Like how do you produce shows but also be homeless at the same time? Like it's quite of a talent. Like one of these days I need to see it. Like one day I saw him stretch a can of beans for 5 days. I was like the one saved can of beans.
Just wait until he is producing whatever you are on. It is going to be the best thing I've ever seen.
I'm supposed to be producing Henshin Hangout.
Oh
God!
There you go.
Oh God! He's producing Henshin Hangout. You're gonna be nice, Johnny. Oh my God! I'm so sorry. I forgot. I'm so sorry.
I'm on that show too.
Oh God! No! Oh God, no! Jezzer, come back!
I'm Battlestar Galactica. Once again, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.
We out.
See ya.